did you get interested in speaking in general in the first place?
Speaking in general, it's kind of an interesting story. I was never the shy person, kind of the class clown and liked the attention and was never afraid of the stage. And I found that when I moved into kind of my professional career, I needed to start giving more and more presentations. And as a result of that, I found myself really getting off on tangents, and I would ramble, and I was never really focused. So I got involved in Toastmasters, and as a result, understood and realized that I really actually like telling stories and giving speeches, and it helped me to focus so I could actually give a pretty good speech, and that's how I got here.
So you're kind of still being the class clown, but in a more constructive way?
Sure, let's go with that. Yes, I'm still the class clown. I love to joke around. I like to have fun. It's just who I am, and that'll never change. I will say that I did go through a short period of my life where I tried to become very professional, and I no longer went with Jamey, I was James. And whenever time anybody would say, James, can you do this? I didn't know who they were talking to. So I went back to Jamey, and I realized I needed to embrace who I really am. And when I did that, my speaking truly went to a different level. When I was on stage trying to be formal and stoic and important looking, I got some compliments, but not what I expected. And even though I even technically gave a great speech, I didn't get that feedback like I really wanted and desired. And when I realized to just embrace who I really am on stage and really just more have a conversation with people, that's when I noticed it started making an impact with people's lives. And as a result, kind of going back to the first question of how I got into speaking, is it started off by me liking the center of attention. That has evolved into, it's pretty powerful when you can actually make a difference in people's lives just by standing and talking to them. And when they give you that feedback, that's why you keep going back.
So you found your authentic self or your internal story. Did that feed into what you do now, or why you help people find their story?
It did. That's definitely a piece of it. When I found my authentic self and was just decided to be who I am on stage, and I saw that the impact that made in people, or at least it allowed them to have a better connection with me, that definitely helped because I was telling my stories. So I saw it there. Also went through a very difficult time in my life, and as a result, I started sharing that story. And I actually had one person come up to me 6 months later, and actually I think they emailed me 6 months later and said, your story helped me save my mom's life. Thank you. Keep telling it. And that's when I realized that stories have huge impact on people. So I started doing research on stories and found out there is truly some science, there is science that backs up why stories actually matter. The problem that so many people have in telling their story or giving a speech in general, a presentation, is they think it has to be all based on facts and figures. And we don't remember facts and figures. The only way as humans we remember facts and figures, unless we have a photographic memory, is through repetition. If we apply it to a story in which we can feel an emotional connection to, we most likely will remember facts and figures. I liken it this way. When we were children, you go to bed at night and you didn't say, Mom, Dad, tell me a presentation or a PowerPoint presentation. You said, Mom, Dad, tell me a story. And it's because stories mattered from the very beginning, and they matter now. And then most recently is I just started doing a lot of research. And part of that research took me to storytelling experts and camps and retreats and conferences and those types of things that all revolved around the idea of storytelling. And that helped immensely. I took and absorbed, and I share so much of that in my own way now with people. But there was a piece to it that was always missing, and that was most of the storytelling resources that are out there assume that you already have a story to tell. And you do. People do have a story to tell. They're just not sure what it really is. And so I've come up with just a technique and a manner in which to help pull and extract those stories out of people. Then we take the raw story, and then we can start applying the other storytelling techniques.